Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It's Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Almost 6:30.
Almost 6:30.
Yeah.
Because Best Laid Plans got derailed
Round
by
two.
a whole podcast with no sound.
Yeah.
A really good one. You guys do not know what you missed. It was so good.
I was going to Mystery Science Theater 3000 it, and I still might because it would be hysterical, but we figured we'd try to bring you a legit podcast with actual
Yeah.
sound.
Yes. 3 voices, not just...
I know, and Kelly's here.
That's right. That's right. All of us. It's so exciting.
So this is a podcast about like yarn and fiber and spinning and crocheting and knitting and weaving and Vermonty things. And we are back in person.
Mm-hmm.
And we are at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont.
Mm-hmm. Even better. Yeah.
Yep.
It's good.
So fun to be back in person.
Yeah.
And you can find us in the store out on social media, World Wide Web, Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, all the cool places,
All the important ones.
as Must Love Yarn. So please follow us, friend us, join our group on Ravelry. We're fun, we promise. Most of the time.
Yes.
Except
All the time. All the time.
totally fun all the time. Yeah. So, and I'm Angela.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
You can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
And I am on Ravelry as J Arbuckle and on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle. Queen of the original names. Although, in fairness, that is my original name. so I guess. You know, I just didn't have a catchy. I don't have a catchy name.
No, well, you know.
And we do have podcast mascots. They are currently recuperating in the hospital. Because my children have found them. And I have not located all of them.
So some are missing.
Some are missing.
Some
All of
had
the
a
parts
tumble.
of them or all of them?
All of them.
Okay.
Some of them are undergoing repairs.
Small surgery. Just a little bit
Small
of surgery.
Rip in the whole leg. I don't know. Like, it's nothing major.
Yeah. Luckily, the surgeon knows how to sew. So we're good there. They'll be good as new.
Yeah. As soon as I can locate all the podcast mascots, they will be back.
Yeah.
Working on it.
Yes.
And repairing the one that I know about that's broken. Maybe that's what's wrong with the other ones.
They're hiding. Don't you think they're probably hiding? Like, they're like, I don't need to live in this very tough world.
This house is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
Oh.
how do we do it before?
You have to get up usually for this one.
There,
There you go.
there we go.
Okay.
It's going to be an evening.
Every 20 minutes.
Somebody's got to move.
Enough.
Need to wave our arms around a little bit more as we talk. We'll just have to...
Okay.
We can designate. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, turn to move.
I don't think Kelly's close enough to the thing.
Is that
It's
my
you
job?
and me. Yeah.
Where is it? Up there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, welcome.
This is how it goes.
This is totally how it goes.
Yep.
And it's at the end of the day, so we're all a little punchier
Yeah.
than normal.
I had half-calf coffee an hour ago, so
Oh,
I don't.
boy.
I'm decaffeinated,
Whee!
so right, that extra little tiny bit of caffeine.
I
I might stay awake till the end. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I almost busted out. I have 2 espresso lollipops that I carry around in case of emergency. And I almost busted one of those out, and I was like,
Not quite an emergency
not
tonight.
on a school night.
Oh, yeah.
I did debate, whether I should have caffeine at 4:30, but granted, it's not a lot. I'm really not worried about it, but I thought maybe I'm a little tired today. I thought maybe something that would keep me alert. I might get chatty. We'll see how it goes.
It's a podcast. It's fine.
Is that what's required?
That's the
right.
point. So what are we wearing today? I think Everybody's got some hand knits on today.
Yes, right. This time we were ready. Sunday,
Yeah,
not
we're
so
a
much.
little- I feel a little more prepared today than Sunday.
Well, we've had some practice.
Trial
That's
run.
why. Right.
Trial run.
So, Kelly, what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing my Paris in Berlin, the Hohi Locatelli little
Nice.
bandana
Pretty.
style cowl. This is
Yes.
Legacy Fiber Arts. This was like a really, remember when we did the very first trend
In our
show
old
at
store.
our old
Yeah,
location,
yeah,
our
yeah,
first
yeah.
location?
Yeah.
This is a very early skein of Chelsea's Jumpin' Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
That's so
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
I like
So it
that
looks
one.
a little bit different than the kind of more modern version of it, but it's similar. So
Yeah.
I love it, though. It
Nice.
goes with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
How about you? What are you wearing?
I am wearing this big cotton drapey sweater called Mira, which I knit, I don't know, last summer maybe, or the summer before, so that's the pattern.
Nice.
So I guess it was designed for Quince & Co. originally. So I took this pattern and I changed it all around.
as Jen does.
I knit it in cotton, and it's meant to be garter stitch, and I did it stockinette because I liked the way the stockinette looked better. And so I used modern cotton, and it's a really quick knit on big needles. We have so much great colors.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
So many great
Yeah.
neutral colors. So anyway, super fun, really easy. It's like knit on like size 15 needles. So
Oh my goodness.
it's
Wow.
worsted weight yarn, but it's honestly, the only downside is it does catch on things. I went into to wash my hands and got caught on the door handle. Oh no! One of those lever handles, and it just like snagged the back of me.
Oh no!
It happens all the time on this sweater. So there's a lot of like little bits and pieces
Yeah, I
every
can
now
see
and then.
a couple little
Like,
pulls
oh,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's cotton, so it doesn't want
Yeah.
to stay tucked because there's no fabric to tuck it into. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's all good, but it's a fun sweater. I wear it quite a bit actually.
Nice.
Big drapey, loose
Awesome.
sweater. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm wearing my Summer Fields. So it's just a little tank.
Mm-hmm.
Jen had hers on when we podcast last.
Oh right.
Not the no
Not the
sound
fake one, but
no,
the,
the actual real
the previous one. Yes.
So I knit the neckline. I know Jen talked a lot about how she had adjusted the neckline. I knit mine to the pattern.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't feel like mine hits me really differently, so I don't know. But I definitely made it shorter. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So it's a really nice, fun knit. I mean, we've waxed poetic about this pattern
Yeah.
on and on.
Yeah.
The combination of like sewing and using little scraps for the top part, it's super fun. And a nice little break, a nice way to like combine crafts, so to speak.
And a faster project.
Yeah, with not having to knit miles
Right.
and miles of body.
No stockinette. Well, yes, but it's super like couple inches.
Yeah.
Done.
It's got like the edging. It's like a knit on edging, so you don't
Yeah.
have to go back and pick up stitches.
Just around the neck, right? You have to do the
Yeah. So
yeah.
super fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cute.
Yeah. And fun because you can mix your fabrics in your yarn, so it's fun.
Super creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So this one got at court today, so it did look all fancy. And by fancy, I mean I put on a jacket.
That's right. Yes. I had an easy day at work today that did not require talking to people outside the organization, so
Yeah,
little more
I
cash
sprung
today.
for and actually wore dress pants today too. Sometimes I just wear jeans, and I was like, no, you need to start like actually wearing real pants.
Oh, because you were on screen.
Yeah, it's all virtual
Right.
still. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only had one court thing where I had to like,
Be there in person.
as I refer to it, dress my whole body.
Yeah. My meetings are starting to be more in person again, so
Yeah.
it's it is funny. Like I'm digging out clothes I haven't worn in a long
Yeah.
time. It's like, oh, a dress.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
my one in person I had to go to, I had a pants crisis.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any pants that fit. So
Yes.
anyway,
Right.
fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times, but it's all right. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got for finished objects today?
I have one,
Me
which
too.
everyone's seen.
I have like
I have, well, I
one
don't
and
know.
5/8, Or
Kelly has
7,
like
8.
she's got a
You
collection
that
of
are like,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got like some sort of ish, not all knitting finished objects.
Cool.
So maybe I'll go first because mine is super easy and people have seen posting about it. So my only finished object is the Seasons of Vermont test knit for the
Nice.
Golden Hour cover up, which is currently on our friendly little mannequin lady over there.
Mannequin number 2.
I know. I think it's so
Okay.
funny you
Mannequin
guys
number
like
1.
swish your mannequins.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did.
Well, no, just
Yes.
because like Angie's project is kind of behind Jen.
Yes.
Jen's
Oh.
project is kind of behind.
Right. Well planned. Right. Yeah, and so, it's an exclusive pattern for the Seasons of Vermont box that's currently available, and I forgot to bring that back with me this time, but people have seen it, so
Seen it.
Yeah.
There's still some
there
available.
still are some available. So, and the yarn is this beautiful Legacy Fiber Arts, specially dyed just for this Golden Hour box
Yeah.
that we did. So, but Angie's super fun Meerkat fabric basket is up front. I'm sorry to say. I knew I forgot something.
Much
but
like this one,
Yeah.
but meerkats.
Yeah. So, as we said, there's a couple of both sizes left. So feel free to,
That's the prototype.
feel free
One of
to
them.
get online or come and see us. Pick one up in person. But anyway, that's my finished object.
Nice.
It was half done at the previous podcast, and
Yes.
now it's done.
She had a deadline, much like me for the baskets.
Yes, exactly.
Woo!
Right.
And then I'm going to insert my finger injury. Look, you can still see it. It's
Still there.
It's still there.
The ones on the nails, they take forever.
was
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah, long time to heal.
My finger got stuck between like half door, so it was one that like swung open and closed. I was picking up my kid from daycare, and it got stuck, but like jammed between the two. I had a day or so where I thought perhaps that I had crushed the entire tip of my finger, and was like, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
But it appears to be on the mend. So where I'm going with this is that happened on Tuesday before the box is released while I was still finishing the basket. So I had to sew with an injured finger.
Yeah.
So I'm going to blame any wonky sewing on the finger.
Yes. Luckily, there was no hand sewing in that basket.
thankfully.
That would have been terrible. Yeah.
I'd have been okay actually hand sewed with my left hand.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Are you left-handed?
Yeah.
Did I not know that? Maybe I did. I don't know. Never
Yeah.
mind. Nothing to see here.
But anyway, when you're sewing on a machine, you actually do use both hands. And
Yeah.
surprisingly, your pinky is involved in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So not as much as your thumb.
I hold my yarn with it, so that would be
But,
problematic.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my
Okay.
sad finger story.
Yeah, and that's my finger finished object.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I brought Spark. Spark is done.
So pretty.
I
Yeah.
did pull back the I-cord. I know I was talking about that last time, and it wasn't laying right, and it was tugging. When the I-cord's too short or too tight on the bind off, it sucks everything up, and so the sweater wasn't laying right, and I had it on the mannequin at my house for a really long time, and every time I go into the basement, I would just snarl at it because I'm just like, ugh.
yeah.
Is it going to block out? And finally I was like, it's not going to black out. Just stop. You can't fix this when it's too tight, this
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
So I ripped it out, kind of tinked it back, picked up all the stitches, and then redid it with a larger needle, which solved the problem. And clearly it was too tight because
Yeah.
when I joined and I could spit splice it because it was, 100% wool.
Yeah.
I had probably like this much still to go on the bind off, so
Wow.
it
So
is
you knew-
really too
yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks great though.
Thank you.
It's gonna be such a great sweater to
It's
wear this fall
so
and winter.
warm.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's basically like a double layer of
Yeah.
Yeah.
yarn.
And it's knit at a pretty tight gauge,
Yeah.
so it's like it's there, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the podcast people maybe sort of just talking about it on the podcast, I think we were like You got to do it.
I know.
Yeah, that's good.
I know.
Because you
So
did it
good.
right after, like you went home from the
Yeah.
podcast, right? So
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta just bite the bullet, just do
Yeah.
this.
yeah, taking it out is so painful, but it's just
Yeah. It was worth it. 'Cause
But keeping
now,
it is more painful than not
Yeah.
wearing it, right? So
Yeah. when I could stop looking at it on the mannequin and
Yeah.
snarling.
yeah.
Why are you like that?
And it's never as bad. Like you have it in your head that it's going to be like this monumental, horrible task, but it's what I mean. It probably took you half an hour to take it out,
Yeah,
maybe an
that.
hour or something.
Well, it's just I knew it was going to take so long to redo the bind off because
Yeah,
I-cords are basically like
knitting 3 times. Yeah,
700 times more than
Yeah.
regular, but
once you take it out, for me, like once I've taken it out, then I'm over the worst of it because then it's just like okay, so this is now I'm knitting again.
yeah, exactly.
It's the taking out that's painful. The knitting is fine.
Exactly. So, again, one of those, like, I knew I needed to do it. I just needed to share the debacle with all of you and sort of myself to doing it. And now I have something I will wear. So that's the...
And it's done. A nice new sweater for fall, just in time for the weather to
just in
shift.
time for it to get cold.
Perfect.
Get cold so I can wear my sweater.
Right. You wouldn't have needed it all summer anyway. It was too hot. Right.
Way too hot.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
Kelly,
So Kelly,
you're up.
Okay, so I got a great deal on a new floor loom. So I've kind of gotten into doing some weaving, and so I found a used floor loom, and it was exactly what I wanted, and so I decided to warp it right up like the day I brought it home. And so I put just a really simple scarf on it. It's just plain weave, but it's really fun. So
The ends are awesome. I love the ends.
the warp is Plymouth Yarn Gina, and it's 2 balls, and then the weft is Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine, and it was just 1 skein. So with 3 skeins of yarn, you can do a pretty long scarf. And then it is fulled just a little bit, so slightly felted. And so it's pretty drapey and soft.
Yeah, it's really soft.
I just love the fringe. I love the whole thing, but I do love the fringe a lot.
That's funny. So, it was really fun, really easy, just because it's it was a quick plain weave project.
And those stripes you're seeing in there, that's the yarn. That's the Gina.
And that's the Gina.
It has that long repeat, right?
Yeah,
So.
long color repeats, exactly. So it does a lot of the...
Super fun.
It's so beautiful, but just that long repeat, the way the stripes work is just so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's totally cool. And so when you're, I don't know much about weaving, so when you're doing the warp, that's the Gina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can, you just stop the length of it where the stripe change color? Is that how you...
No, so, I mean... Because it would overlap a little bit, so I use a warping board when I warp. So, and I think it was like a 3-yard warp. So, you're just winding it on, and there might be some as you're turning around to come back. There might be some overlap, but it's going to sit right next to that same color.
Oh, okay. So you can't, because it's so the stripes are so graphic and so clean. I just that's why I was curious.
Nope, just the repeats are long enough that it really works well in something like this.
Yeah, it's funny because it doesn't look like it overlaps at all.
I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I have some more to do another one too in different colors, so it's kind of fun to play with the different colors and see how it's going to work out together.
Yeah, because you get such a different product than just like knitting.
Yeah.
And once you do that first part, then it's quick, right?
Yeah, the warping is, winding the warp and then warping the loom. It takes time, and you have to have that. I like, especially warping the loom, you have to do it kind of all at once. It's hard to stop once you've started. So, you have to set aside enough
a day
time. Not too bad for something like that, but it does take some time to do. So
nice.
Yeah.
I've been doing some spinning, and I still haven't skeined it, but
But you guys don't know that because you didn't see the one from
I
Sunday.
know, right? I know. So, I just ratted myself
Nothing
out.
to share here.
Anyway.
Still, look, isn't it beautiful?
It's just a 2-ply. It's BFL. And it's super squishy.
It's awesome.
So
It's
I
so
have
pretty.
That was Spunky Eclectic, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That one is Spunky Eclectic. So these are kind of, these are fun, and they're kind of finished because I spun them. But I also took a class with Tammy White of Wing and a Prayer Farm. I did her indigo class. It was an online class, and then she sent me the materials, and it was a fantastic class. So if you are at all interested in natural dyeing, I would highly recommend her classes. She does have another one coming up, but it's this coming weekend. Yeah, those two are taking it. So you wouldn't be able to register in time for that, especially because this podcast I think is going live on Friday. But keep your eye out because I know she will do them again because everybody loved the class. It was jam-packed with information. It was only 2 hours. It was 2 days. And each day it was an hour long, and it was fantastic. And not everybody had their vats ready for the second day to dye on the second day, but she records it and then sends you the recording so that when you get your vat ready, you can rewatch it. So it was it was fantastic, and it was filled with information.
I'm
so
hoping
excited.
I can learn what to do with my fresh.
Yes, she
indigo.
actually does go over that. She showed 2 different examples, the
Nice.
salt and the ice,
Nice.
using the fresh indigo, and it makes a lovely color. I've got one time a couple years ago when Carol and I were down there with her, we helped her dye some of her skeins with the fresh indigo, and it's lovely. So this is some gray Shetland, not from my own sheep, but actually related sheep, that I spun, and it was like a really lovely kind of medium gray, and then I over dyed it. So I've got 2
gorgeous.
skeins that I
gorgeous.
over dyed with the indigo.
I just love
So
that
it was
color. that
really
indigo.
fun.
Amazing blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you start with a non-white color, you get some really interesting depth of color
Yeah.
to the skeins. This one was actually a natural kind of white color that Tammy threw in. But it's still fun too. It's different.
Right.
Yeah.
And, if I wanted to go darker with this, I could actually dip this back into the indigo bath. Or I can even do a gradient by, putting only part of it back in. So you can do a lot of
interesting.
really fun things with
Yeah.
it. Because it doesn't have to be in the indigo for very long for results to kind of show up. Oh, this piece was kind of fun. So you can do like origami style folding for pieces, and you can get some really fun effects like that.
Cool.
Yeah. That's exciting.
So that was really, really fun. And then I have some just kind of little silk scarves and stuff that I did some different blocking techniques with. But the other piece, this one was fun. So you stitch and then bind the fabric, and depending on how tightly you bind it, you can get these really, it's linen, so it's kind of wrinkly, but you can get these really cool little effects from
Like
that.
flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I'm so
really,
excited
really
about
fun.
that. Yeah, my kit came, I don't know, at the end of last week maybe.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I opened it up because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if there was anything I had to do ahead of time or whatever. But it came with no directions, so I'm assuming that I do nothing ahead of time,
Yep,
which is
you
great.
don't have to do anything. The first
Yeah.
day she kind of gives you a lot of information and some different resources and whatnot. And then, the rest of that afternoon, I actually spent the day like prepping my my pieces to dye, and then the next morning I actually had enough time before the class started that I got the indigo vat set up. So it was really fun.
She sends like 5 or 6 different kinds of materials with it, so it's just
there's
nice. So
all
you get
kinds of stuff.
some
Actually, the
yarn
little
and
bag
some,
that it came in,
Yeah.
I stuffed that in too,
nice.
so it's hard to
So
see,
cute.
but
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I know. Me too.
I'm kind of glad we had the False Start podcast on Sunday, because otherwise I would not have.
Right. Right. And of course, since then, I realized that I thought it was Friday, Saturday, and apparently it's Saturday, Sunday. So A little recasting of plans, but
Yeah.
my niece and I have like a sort of cheap tie-dye kit that I bought because we're going to do some ice dyeing as well. So
Nice.
I think Friday afternoon we'll do that, and then we'll do the indigo. Because my niece is, I'm watching my niece this weekend, and so she's watching her. She's 13. She's apparently able to stay all by herself at home. Does not need me, but her parents disagree. So, that's partly why I signed up, so we could do it together, because she's kind of a crafty girl. So it'll be
Nice.
fun.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
And I'm excited about the ice dyeing because I haven't done that either. So we'll just see.
Yeah.
Fun
See.
times all the way
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Easy.
So I have to go to the fabric store and buy some miscellaneous chunks of fabric this week so that I'm fully prepared to take advantage of
There you
all
go.
the dyeing opportunities.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, should I go get some muslin and like,
Yeah.
you know.
I was thinking about getting some linen to.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
goes. I go muslin. She goes.
Well, I
linen.
was thinking about using the fabric like to make a skirt or something like that,
Oh,
or
yeah.
pants or something
Yeah, yeah.
when I'm done. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Something fun,
It'll be fun.
assuming that I like the results. But I kind of like color. I'm pretty sure I will like
Yeah.
everything I do, no matter what. So
So I have another mostly finished object. It's actually more finished than it was on Sunday.
everything is further along.
Oh, yes, it is. Look at that.
Which ribbon did you choose?
The one we
the
all-
one we all
the one
liked.
we all
Yes,
liked.
that's perfect.
Having ribbon challenges.
I know you guys didn't even get to see this one, or this
Yeah.
one.
It's okay. This is the right answer.
Yeah, so my sweater smells like it's been hanging on the mannequin in the basement. But
Well, it's really funny, though, because we all ended up liking
Yeah.
that one. That
Yeah.
that has to be like a little bit of a
Unsolicited.
sign, right?
yeah,
Right,
no,
exactly.
totally
Right.
unsolicited. So the ribbon has been attached,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just waiting for buttons.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Buttons, and I had hoped to.
You
know.
have the buttons, right?
Oh yeah, no. I was hoping that I was
Right
gonna
in your
have a little
basket.
time before we started podcasting. I chose to eat dinner instead. So shame.
I
on
would
me.
have done the same.
Right.
Buttons will have to wait.
Chose wisely.
But yeah,
But they're Katrinkle's little buttons, aren't they?
Katrinkles, yeah,
they're
they're
super
super
cute. Yeah.
super cute. So
Little
yeah,
bamboo.
so ribbons on,
Perfect.
and this guy, this is Elton. It's been like
It's really cute.
a year in the making.
And so on Sunday you talked about the yarn, but
Oh yeah,
these people don't know about the
that's
yarn
true.
yet.
Do you guys don't know? You didn't watch the Sunday one?
Right. That's the only downside.
I
Is you
know,
do think
right?
you've shared
I
information
know.
that
I
you have
know.
in fact not.
So the main speckled color is Legacy Fiber Arts Sweater Weather, and it's their first version. So the original, the OG. And the rust-colored mohair is Sugarbush Yarns. We don't actually carry this particular,
Drizzle. Yeah.
it's drizzle, mohairy type yarn anymore. Because
But
this
we've
is
got a lot of similar ones.
old. But we do have the Barocco, that is it
Ariel.
Yeah.
and we have a ton of colors.
Yeah.
Like so many beautiful
Yeah.
colors.
And some new ones too that are really great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this is just striped with fingering weight yarn and mohair. It's got this really sort of almost boxy feel to it. It looks a lot like a boxy that's been turned into a cardigan,
Yeah.
with the little T-Rex sleeves on it, which means there's not a whole lot of sleeve knitting, which is,
Sometimes a plus.
yeah.
We also have, we actually got a fairly good sized legacy order, which I think we
Yeah.
talked about. So we have some of their mohairs as well
Yeah.
to pair with their regular colors.
Yeah.
And then we also have some Kingdom Fleece and Fiber mohair. So
Yeah.
we have some indie dyed mohairs as well.
Yeah.
Mohairs,
And we
just
have
not
some
quite the
alpaca
right-
we're going to show you
Yes,
too.
Yes,
too.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
this sweater took 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn and then sort of a comparable amount of mohair. So it's
Yeah.
not a very yarn heavy or yarn
'Cause
intensive.
it's knit on good. Is it on bigger?
It's like 5s, I want to say. I
Yeah.
think it's a more open.
That's pretty
weave.
typical for a
Yeah.
fingering weight
Yeah.
sweater anyway.
Yeah.
To be on
Yeah.
5s.
Yeah.
It's a nice weight. It's a
Yeah.
great weight.
Yeah, it's really open area. I had it, actually was wearing it on Sunday. It's so warm.
Yeah.
It's really open and lightweight, and you're like, I shouldn't be hot in this. And you're like,
But that mohair, man.
sweating
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That giant mohair sweater that I have out there. Oh my
That
god.
nobody can wear because it's too hot.
I can't wear it unless I'm outside
Outdoors.
on like a 0 degree or lower
Yeah.
day without wind because
Very
it's holy
chill.
enough that you can't have wind. It is so warm.
Right, but right. A chilly fall day,
Winter.
Right.
Not fall, winter.
Has to be cold.
Yeah. Like I was thinking like a nice cold and damp day because it would be warm and cozy then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're right. Yeah. It's funny, that yarn sells a lot of, or that sweater sells a lot of yarn. So several other people out there with a nice warm sweater like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what do
All
we
right,
got
I
for
think-
sort of works in progress here?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Sure.
I've got more spinning.
More spinning.
More spinning. Purple.
Another beautiful color.
That's gorgeous.
So this is just a single. I've got the other single in progress at home. So I'll have some more soon.
Nice.
And then my only other work in progress, which I haven't pulled back because we talked about this on Sunday.
So you get to talk about it again.
Right, exactly. Is a little crochet jacket.
It's so cute.
It's
It is
kind of hard to
so-
show because you start with kind of the yoke part of it, and get to the point where you separate for the sleeves, but then you work in all the way around. So you work like the collar down the sides and around the back in one big circle. So it kind of is a really cool design. But it is a Noro pattern. It is called Number 9 Crochet Jacket by Jenny King, and it's a Noro pattern. It originally called for, I think, the Noro Tayo, but I use Curry-On vintage stash Curry-On. And it's kind of very much the traditional Curry-On that people think of, where it's a little scratchier. It's a lot more thick and thin. The Curry-On of today is not nearly as thick and thin.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot more like thick and thin, but and they've also added merino to the.
I was going to say they've done.
Yeah, they've added merino to the current day Curry-On so that it is much softer. I don't find this particularly scratchy, but it is definitely has a little bit more rustic feel than some yarns. So when we were talking about this on Sunday, I must have like started getting tighter. So there's only 2 rows. You do like a shell row and then you do a chain and single crochet row. And on that chain single crochet row, I was chaining tighter. And I must have just like got stressed out or something on the last couple because it's not bad like further in. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to pull out because it's getting a little bit tighter around because of how, how it's constructed. So.
I'll say, and that does the same thing as like the I-cord bind off. If you it sucks
to-
everything in and then it doesn't lay right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to have to pull a little bit back up. But that's the beauty of crochet. It's really easy to pull out and redo. So.
And you said, I think that you have a couple different colorways.
Yes, there are 2 different colorways in here. There's one that has like the purple in it, and then one does not. Actually, I think I've got a skein of each so I can show you. But one has like teals and greens and purples, and one is not.
I love that about Noro, that there's always like an overlapping color.
Yeah.
And I did something, I forget what, a while back, and I had 2 different colors.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, it wasn't a gradient really, but I used one at the top and one at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it just sort of.
So, I mean, this one is definitely a little bit darker, but they both have like teals and blues and greens in them and some gray. So they work really well. I'm just switching between them, and they're working out pretty well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they look beautiful together. Those
Nice.
colors are really
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Something a little different.
Yeah.
So I'm making progress on Bixby. Bixby. I got sleeves.
Woo!
Woo woo. Sleeves done.
That's exciting.
And I mean, if we're talking about a warm sweater, this is bulky mohair held with a DK. So this one you could wear out in the wind. It's probably going to be hot.
It doesn't, like, the fabric is really nice, though.
No, it is really nice.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like...
No, it's not like
Yeah,
it's not like a
stiff or
suit
whatever,
of armor or
but
anything,
it will definitely be warm.
definitely going to keep you warm. And so this does actually stripe with 2 different Barocco
I
Providence
almost see it here on the
colors.
sleeve, right?
Yeah.
So darker, lighter.
So you have a lighter color and a darker color. You could do it all in one color. You wouldn't have to stripe. I just decided to make it just like the pattern.
Including the same colors, too. Which is not usually Ange's
No.
MO.
No, it just
Sometimes you want it to be easy.
I did want it to be easy, and the colors just sang to me,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
they're
just
really pretty.
went with it.
Yeah.
So I have the body. This is the giant body cast on. It's bottom up. And I'm at the point now where I'm getting ready to start striping and adding in the lighter color. So you start with the darker color at the bottom and knit for roughly 8 inches, and now we're going to start striping, and then when you get to a certain point you just keep going with the lighter color.
Nice.
So it'll sort of
It's kind
follow
of
the
fadey,
sleeves.
a little fadey. Sort
A
of,
little, yeah.
Not
a
really,
little,
but kind of.
a little fadey.
Transition between
The Ariel, is this Ariel?
Artesia.
Artesia.
It's
They're both mohair,
yeah,
just different
it's
weights.
classified as a bulky mohair, which it is bulky for mohair, and yes, you can stay tuned for the outtakes to find out why my cake looks like this.
It's very fluffy.
Ball landing issues.
That's the happy one.
Yeah, this is the super happy one.
The relaxed one. The other one's a little...
But anyway, it's pretty speckly, and it's actually really dominant. It's really sort of taking the direction of this yarn. As you can see, like the blue speckles in
I was just
here
gonna
and
say,
other
all the
things
blue
like
and the, that sort of greenish kind of speckle.
yeah, and that's all from the mohair.
Yeah.
Because
It's
that's
really
not,
interesting how it pops out like
Isn't
that.
it amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew that mohair was dominant because it always takes over, but
Yep.
Yeah, but if you had put a lace weight mohair in here, then
Yeah, it
your
wouldn't
yarn, your base yarn
would be
is
more
the one
dominant.
that is the one that's going to show up. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
it makes a
Yeah.
difference.
So
Yeah.
interesting. And it's interesting too because the base yarn is a tweedy kind of yarn, and so
Yeah,
there are
it's
some
tweedy.
flecks of color in there.
Yep.
But the mohair is definitely popping out.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. So,
Yeah.
super fun. It's fast. It's on like 8s and 9s, so it's a pretty quick knit. But it's going to be a super cozy, super warm sweater.
Yeah.
Cardigan. It's a cardigan. No buttons. Cardigan.
Yeah.
Open cardigan. So excited.
Yeah.
Nice. It's cute.
Yes. We can see the colors changing on the screen. 'Cause
I know.
it's
I
getting
was
dark.
like,
What is happening?
Right.
we're turning kind of like a greenish color.
Yellow. Not my favorite color.
I was like, although sometimes
It's weird on the
Yeah.
screen, but when I get back and play it back and actually start editing
Okay.
it, it's fine.
I won't look
yeah,
like I
and
need
I
to
don't
go
know
lie
if
down.
you have on yours like the night mode set too.
Yeah, it shouldn't come on this early for night mode, but that could be
Maybe
what's
it's
happening.
confused.
Yeah.
It's time to go to bed.
Right.
Silly technology.
Let's see. So I have continued to work on my sea glass tee, and now that I was done with the deadline knitting, I probably put like an inch or so on there. I guess I didn't put a marker in there, but I think I was about there last time. So it's just so much fun, and
Nice.
it's continuing to be multicolored, but it's fun.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So the reds and the orange that are in there will pop up a little bit more, but more of there'll be less as you go down the sweater. Be mostly the blues and greens and grays and other colors. There's a tiny bit of golden hour in there from a round or two. So I think I mentioned this before, but there's a lot of different ways that you can alternate the colors. But I chose to carry the same color. There's 2 colors in every row, no matter how you do it, but I'm carrying each color for 2 rows, but I'm alternating when I switch them out so that they are sort of opposite each other, and it looks more mixy, but I don't have to change the colors quite as frequently as the pattern, which actually it says you change both colors every row, which would just be like a lot, in my opinion. So, but you get different results, and I'm doing sort of, the pattern is meant to be reversible so that you could wear it with the reverse stockinette side out, and there's some pictures of it in their pattern that are kind of cool, and these will all be trimmed, so I'm weaving in my ends as I go. And although she recommends using fray check and some other things, I didn't really want those little slips of plastic,
Yeah.
whatever. So I am doing like a Russian join, I think it's called, where you sort of overlap your yarn, and then I'm just knitting with them. So
It's pretty on the inside, but I love the outside.
yeah,
the
I like
outside
the
is gorgeous.
yeah. It's funny. There's a picture of one of them. Like this one is worn with a reverse stockinette side out,
Yeah.
and it is cute, and
Yeah.
I do like it, but I don't always love reverse stockinette, so that's the other one. So this is two pictures, one where it's reverse stockinette and one where it's not, and
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see, it's kind of interesting. But anyway, so mine may or may not be able to be worn. Of course, all those little ends will be trimmed in, but because they're already woven in, I don't have
Yeah.
to do
Right.
anything else. But
Yeah.
we'll see. So it's been fun. Lots of I have like bags of little bits of color all over the house. But
It's like my blanket of calm bag.
right,
Where it's just
exactly.
like all the little odds and ends have been ending
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun.
So yeah, it's been fun to knit on.
Nice. And I wanted to show one more. I know I had talked about it, but I had forgotten it the last time. Was Illuminate. So it's a Andrea Mowry pattern that got released. Now I'm using two yarns that don't have very much contrast. So this is knit with Schopel edition 3. So that's the sort of variegated color here. And then my mohair is the Barocco in this green. So there's not a lot of contrast, and I did that on purpose. I wanted it definitely more muted, and I really loved this color palette. So you have to be pretty close to it to be able to see the patterning and the color work, but it's knitting kind of the way I had intended it and the way I wanted it, so I'm running with it. The pattern was designed for more contrast, but I don't mind it.
You can see it.
You can
so-
see it,
and
yeah.
I think actually
Yeah.
probably when you get it done and you're further away,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to pick up on those lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can kind of see it on the screen there.
Yeah.
So this, you actually hold the mohair double in this one, so it's pretty close to the sport weight yarn, so it's not as sort of open and airy as this other one. And when you get done with the color work and divide for the sleeves, you actually stripe the mohair and the main color.
I think that will really make the pattern stand out, because the pattern
Yeah.
is like the yoke or whatever, and then the stripes, and so
Yeah.
you'll have like the non-mohair
Yep.
yarn next to the pattern, which will really make that whole
Yeah.
yoke
Yeah, I
pop
think,
out.
yeah.
But again, it will be subtle, but I think it'll still be
Yeah, I think
beautiful.
it'll
And
be.
the colors I love those colors, of course. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. My favorites too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to knit this out as something that was maybe a little bit more affordable
Yeah.
and, still could give you really good results. We do have both of this yarn.
and lots of color choices. in
lots of
both,
color
actually.
choices.
The edition 3 is really low right now.
Amazing.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
It's really low.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got to get some more.
Super
on
popular.
order.
Yeah.
I know. We've been
For so
selling,
many projects,
We've
yeah.
been selling a lot for that, and then believe it or not, the shift we're still selling
It's amazing.
the yarn for
I love
that.
it.
Yeah, people are coming back around.
Well, we
think,
have, I
yeah.
think, 3 different samples of the shift in the store
Yes.
in
At
different
least,
color
if not more.
versions. So
Yeah.
Right.
it makes a difference.
Well,
Yeah.
but we have an interesting yarn. So if you're allergic to mohair, right? Because some people are, but you still want to knit some of these different things we've been showing. We have this new yarn in from the Alpaca Yarn Company, and this is it's it's the end of the day, and it just literally went in and out of my head. What it is? It's not mohair.
It's alpaca. From the Alpaca Yarn Company.
Almost said Angora, and I was like, that's not right.
No,
not
no
Angora.
ears, long legs.
So we have
Sorry.
we have 6 colors.
It's probably a good thing we didn't have cupcakes.
Probably.
Or drinks.
We've got 6 colors in stock of the yarn. It is called Halo Watercolors. They do have this in solid colors too. Right now we just brought in the new fun, funky hand-painted ones, and they are hand-painted. And it is a lace weight, so it's kind of like the very similar to a lot of the lace weight mohair silk blends. So it's 78% brushed Surrey alpaca, 22% nylon. They're 25 gram skeins, 257 yards, and they're $14 a skein. So they're really comparable to the other mohairs that are out there, but it's alpaca.
Right.
So there's a lot of people who can't wear mohair, and for those people, there's a lot of great companies that are doing this alpaca, and the colors on this are just
gorgeous,
lovely.
And so you could knit Illuminate with this. I would just recommend pairing it with a solid finger or sport weight yarn.
Yeah.
Or something tonal, or something that's not going to compete with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and give it a little contrast so that it can stand out, really. Because it changes color.
Or if you wanted, low, like what I'm doing, you could do the
Yeah.
reverse of that with the.
Yeah.
I'm a contrast person, sorry. I like contrast. I think what you're doing is beautiful. I don't mean that at all. But for me personally, I always like to see the pattern.
We were actually talking when we did it on Sunday. We were like, ooh, this would be great with this. Like, I thought that would be so pretty with like a navy.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really pretty. And, the red you could do with a gray or a black or actually anything.
Almost like purple.
The gold, that one's really pretty. That'd be great for like a fall.
With dark brown or something.
Yeah.
That pattern would really stand out. Yeah.
This is really lovely. That'd be so pretty with like a red, or there's a green.
Or you could use that spring green dye gilpin that we have.
And that would be the perfect gauge for that.
Yeah.
And then there's like one that's gray and brown, so totally you could go really neutral with it, or you could bring in like a really bright, fun pop of color to go with that.
Fuchsia.
I was just thinking bright pink. Yeah,
that would actually be really fun. And then there's this one, which is really lovely.
So pretty.
Kind of purples and browns.
I mean, even just the teal that's in there.
That would be pretty with navy too. I think that would be really pretty with navy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So lots of fun options.
Yeah. We should think about bringing in some of the solids probably, so that we do have a mohair alternative. Yeah, for a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also just because it's really lovely product. So
we actually do have an alpaca that's a DK, so you wouldn't have to hold it double. You could just knit it on its own.
Sophio, that one.
Yeah, the Sophio, the Gadifra Sophio.
Yeah.
So if you're looking and you want a solid because you've got a yarn that does the changing of the color, we've got the Gadifra Sophio, and it is alpaca, but it's a DK weight alpaca. It's like an alpaca. I think that one's alpaca silk, but I can't remember.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
But it's basically that same structure. So, but you'd only have to hold one strand because it is
for
heavier.
something like Illuminate.
Yeah.
And we have quite a good selection of colors, like maybe 8 or 10.
Yeah.
A bunch of neutrals and one or two, like a green and a blue.
Yeah.
Since apparently the mohair thing is not going away. Like when it first started, we were like, how long is this going to last?
Yeah.
Right? Because it always seems that in years past, it's always been mohair. Okay, done.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
It's just because that's a brand new pattern. This is a relatively new pattern. Like it's
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can get the other light to come on and see if that made a difference.
Yeah, it might.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally possible that my nighttime thing shifted.
Because that does really yellow the screen, I noticed on my iPad.
Yeah. It starts to dim it, so it's
I know. I don't think it made a huge difference, but that's okay.
I think you're right, Cal. I think it did go into nighttime mode. I must have had it set for earlier than I thought.
You haven't adjusted it for daylight savings or whatever we're in now.
I bet it's 7. Probably just haven't even noticed that it does that. So
I have a few more whips over
here.
So, so for those that happen to see me on the previous podcast, I have made a little bit of progress where I cast on. This is my second summer field top. And I have done the back. Sorry, it's on its thing waiting for the neck band. But the back, let me turn this around so it's facing the right way. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did, this was a really lightweight fingering. I don't even remember what yarn it is because I've had it for a long time. But from the one and only, or maybe the one or two pairs of socks that I've ever made.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like we used to carry the Alpaca Yarn Company. Oh, it's not?
It's from Kaleidoscope.
Oh, it looks like the Packaped And
I know,
maybe
it's funny.
she carried it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's really, I did a sock knitting class because I thought, oh, socks, wouldn't that be great? Turns out I don't love them. But, I enjoyed the class and I learned whatever, but this yarn was from that. So it's like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's just been sitting there until I found this fabric and I was like, oh, it's a perfect match. So the back was done. I did that over the weekend and I just need to do the front and presto magic, another shirt.
And presto magic, I did not have this on Sunday.
That's how fast.
That's how fast
Exactly.
this is.
Yeah.
I have another body for Summer Fields.
It's such fun colors. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also has been apparently in my basement.
That's why Angela is sniffing everything, in case you wondered.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a little musty smelling, which is not cool.
Go to Ludaroma. Just get yourself one of those.
I can't really
smelling-
notice it, so
I don't smell it either. But
don't
Okay.
freak out
Smells
about
fine.
it.
Okay.
It smells fine.
It's just me. I have a sensitive nose.
Yeah. All right, my last whip,
Okay.
new since Sunday, was not on the Sunday podcast.
This one wasn't either.
But it was in my head, and I went shopping after the podcast in our
funny.
store.
Nice.
Because I decided to make the Opus shawl.
Nice.
Max and Sear from Lake Arson just published this pattern. He's doing a big knit along. I may or may not join the knit along, but I've been watching him talk about the pattern for a little bit and seen some of the test knits, and I just love the way it looks, very architectural sort of plaid look. But I'm following the pattern, but I am using fingering weight instead of sport weight and knitting it on a 4 instead of a 5. So
Take a couple of yours.
yeah, well, these are stash.
Okay.
I feel like this is one twisted tree
It
from
looks
when we
like,
first
yeah.
opened, maybe. I think
Yeah.
I used it in one of the Vera Valamaca shawls. And then this is Cannon hand dyes. I just used it, a little bit of it, when I was making the peony shawl for the Seasons of Vermont box in June. And then I bought these two to go with it. So this is Quince & Co. Frost in the Finch, I think. Right. And then this is Malabrigo Sock in Persia. So it's hard to see on the screen, but it's kind of a really dark blue with some black overtones. When I first saw this pattern, I really wanted to do a black and white and red. I was sort of thinking, like really black and white graphic. But then I pulled these two out of my sea glass tea bag of scraps when I was here, and I was like, oh, that would be pretty. And then I was looking for, some complementary colors. So there's a very tiny bit. I just cast it on last night, actually.
Nice.
So you can just start to see the colors starting to fit in there. But
It'll be fun to watch that progress.
yeah, and it was it's pretty fast and easy. It's because, you're slipping so many stitches to get the color work to work properly. But I really love the colors, and I'm excited to see them
fun.
play out.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Was not really on the list of things I was supposed to be working on next. But and it's
What are you gonna
interesting,
do?
right? Exactly. So it'll probably be a little bit of a different size. It's a big shawl. I think the pattern is like a 70-inch wingtip, which is plenty big enough. So even though it's knit on but I'm only down one needle size because it's knit on a 5. So I'm using a 4 instead, and I like the fabric, and it would be thicker, but I like this. I think it will drape a little bit. So anyway, I'm excited.
Nice.
Should
Cool.
be fun. All my colors. Favorites. That's it. And right now it's living in my beautiful bag from my friend Angela. RGB forever.
All the way.
RBG. Sorry, I always do that for some reason. I don't know why. But
We all
yes.
know what you meant.
Yes. So it's exciting.
Cool.
That's it.
Awesome.
Lots of things in my head of things to do next, but apparently I'm doing this next. And that, and this.
And apparently I think I need to knit all the sweaters.
I do have 2 sweaters that
Yeah.
I was supposed to cast on next, but
because we're going to do a sweater palooza.
correct.
Oh.
Right.
So sweater palooza starts now.
Magnolia,
why wait?
Ranunculus.
You
Which
can-
one?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Do the end of October. So if you are going to a festival, make your festival sweater. If you aren't going to a festival and just want to be ready for winter, do that. Come knit with us. Whips are allowed. Sweaters. It's got to be a sweater.
Long
We've
sleeve,
had a
short
lot
sleeve?
of people
Yeah.
making their very first sweaters coming into
Amazing.
the store, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
if you've
Yeah.
been contemplating starting your very first sweater,
Yeah.
Come join us for
Yeah.
the Sweater Palooza.
That's right. Yeah.
New cow.
And that's why I'm thinking of those two, because they're both quick. Ranunculus is quick.
Yep.
Supposedly.
Yep.
And
Love Notes is also super quick.
Yeah.
That's another
yep.
one you could use this for.
Yes.
Alpaca Yarn
gosh,
Company.
That would be beautiful.
With a solid.
Yeah.
Super quick. Goes like that. It's on big
Yeah.
needles.
Magnolia is on my. That's another one that's a mohair, and I think a worsted weight. I'm like size 9 or 10, or maybe that's just how I'm doing it. I don't know. Have not dug that pattern out. It was supposed to be next, but it's not.
You just got distracted. Ooh, shiny.
Yes.
Ooh, shiny.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's the new cow. Starts now. Immediately. Already. Whips allowed. Always allowed whips.
So
Why not?
apparently it started. I don't
It
know.
started.
A month ago.
Yeah, whenever. Now. As of now.
Through. What did
End
we
of
say?
October.
Oh, is that what we said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
End of October.
Okay.
Also reserve the right to extend it if needed. We'll
Maybe
see.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We'll see.
Depends
could-
on how much locked up inside we have.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe we have to do 2 sweaters. Apparently that's what I'm going to do.
Alright,
And a Seasons of Vermont pattern. Who
2
knows?
sweaters going right here.
Right.
See if I can get them done.
Right.
Wah, wah.
You can design the Seasons of Vermont pattern.
Nope. I did. I sewed a basket with a hurt finger.
So I guess that's the answer.
Angela has paid her dues.
Right. All right. I will say that the October box is already in planning.
Nice.
And
Nice.
the fabric has been distributed to the maker. Super fun
Nice.
fabric.
Nice. May
gonna
she
be-
be better about procrastinating than me.
She was going to
'cause
cut them out this weekend,
she's-
having picked up the fabric
Yeah,
on
she's
Saturday.
already better than me. Had the fabric and knew about the project since May.
Well, when I did the bags, I cut them out, and then they sat there on my kitchen table for like 4 weeks, and then I was like, okay, well, I need to make these in a week, so
Who was sewing them the week they were due?
yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep, that was me.
Yeah. So it'll be good, though.
Yeah.
Yarn from
Nice.
Kingdom Fleece and Fiber. I have seen the yarn. Pretty
They're
excited
gorgeous.
about it. Yeah. So then we just need to think about the tchotchkes.
Does she have it done?
I think she was dyeing it. She sent me a picture of the sample.
Because I'm picking up my wool next week.
I am hoping that she has been working on it. I think
Okay.
so.
I can ask her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I might, if I think of it, I'll email her as well and just copy you so that if it's done, you can pick it up. That would be great. Because I do need something to design the pattern, which I have some ideas for, but I started a shawl instead.
I mean, like one does.
Right. Yes. I think it's going to be a hat for Seasons of Vermont.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
That'll be fun.
should be quick.
Yeah.
Pen, pen.
Yeah. Just need some inspiration. So we shall see. Halloweeny. Think about it. Between now and October, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know when.
Cool.
Whatever.
Cool. Our class schedule's up.
Yes.
Class schedule's up. So
We're going
take
to
a
be
look.
adding some more because we've got Andrea's been working on the schedule through the end of December basically.
Awesome.
So I've got a few that I'm going to be tossing up as I get those ready, and she's got some she's going to be putting up
Excellent.
there too. So we're going to have even more. So if you don't see something that fits with what you want to learn right now, keep an eye on it because we are going to be adding some more.
Steeking,
Yes.
for someone who wants to
Steeking.
steek their first sweater in our Sweater Palooza.
Yep, we are going to do
Yeah.
a steeking class.
So
Spark is
start
a
knitting,
steek
and then you
sweater.
can steek from the class.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, steeking is,
It's
it's fun and it's easy. It's a little intimidating to cut the very first stitch.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it
then
was
once
help-
you do it,
yeah.
you're like, why don't I do this with everything?
Right,
It's
exactly.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah,
never
it's
knitting
so fun.
anything
I know.
again. And so I did take a class. I'm trying to remember where now, actually. Maybe Vogue Knitting Live. I think I took a class there a couple of years ago. And I'm glad I took the class because it just primes you a little bit. So it gives you a little bit more confidence to And then you can pull out your samples and look at them, and you're like, oh right, that's what that means. That's what
Right.
it looks like when it's
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, I'm gonna do the class that I've done before. I do a crochet reinforced steek, and I do
Yeah.
a sewn steek, a hand sewn, because I don't have everybody bring in their sewing machines. But then I do talk about machine and reinforcing it too.
yeah,
If you're like me, you do both on that thing.
Which isn't a bad idea since you had the superwash.
One of the purple yarn is a superwash, so I was concerned that it was gonna
might not stick.
that it wouldn't stick. So
Yeah,
hence both.
yeah,
Better safe than sorry.
yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
so as you choose your sweater pattern,
Mm-hmm.
think about that.
Yeah, I have to look. I can't remember when she's got that one scheduled in for. So
Nice.
Well,
it's
we
just
might
a
have to.
one-day.
We'll adjust our knit along deadline around the class. How about that? Because we're not rule bound here.
Yeah, we're loosey goosey with rolls. We're all over the place.
Right.
So
Yeah.
whatever works.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So thanks for coming to hang out with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed that we have sound. Because we'll find out
All
soon.
of them. Cross all your fingers.
everything, your eyes, your arms, your legs, cross it all in hopes that we have sound. Of course, if we don't, then you won't know to cross everything.
Oh,
Well,
no.
we have.
No, you will.
I have the voice recorder going, so
That's
we'll mash it together.
Might not be lined up exactly, but it'll be close.
Right.
Sorry, close enough.
But
Better than
maybe you-
Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is what you're gonna get. if
Right.
It doesn't work.
Right. Right. Or the silent show. Right. Where you just see us.
Maybe we could learn sign language.
Oh, gosh. Maybe. Sorry. We probably should, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always love watching the sign
I
language
do
interpreters.
too.
It's like
It's
I
amazing.
won't even be watching the stage. I'll be like,
I know,
what's
me
that person
too.
doing over there? That's awesome.
It's beautiful, I know.
Yeah, right, it's like a dance, like
It
they're doing
is.
whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's all we got for this one.
I think it is.
All right.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, guys. All right, that's the signal.
That's the signal, so I know where to cut the clip.
Well,
That
as you should be,
things are not working the way they're supposed to.
because they did not work.
Because they
the
did
way-
not work.
Right.
I have convinced myself that this is the solution to all of our microphone problems.
So, are we doing a backup sort of cell phone thing or something? What are we doing? That's a backup.
Back up.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
maybe I
that's-
should just
I'm-
turn my cell phone on
Someone
to
should.
do like a voice. I should probably do it on my phone since I'm the one that
Yes.
does it. So, all right, I'm gonna
And my phone is
Start that.
on like 40% battery, so.
let me see if I have a voice thingy,
Voice recorder ever.
voice recorder. I'm sure I do somewhere because why would I not? Voice memos. The question is, can it go for a whole hour?
How much juice do you have?
Aw, Bob's hanging with the sheep.
Oh, so cute.
Cute.
Well, we'll give it a go. So I'm going to
Yes.
Cute. That's little Jensen, buddy.
start this and put it right there on the table.
Okay.
So we have backup sound.
That's important.
Backup sound, just in case, because
That
you never know.
is
Did you test? You've tested your
I
new
did
setup?
test it.
several times, but we.
Kelly's off the screen. Totally off the screen. We are a mess. Hi.
We'll have to snuggle.
Hello. We do have to snuggle. That was one of the advantages of the couch is we
Yes.
were there was
Snuggle.
We couldn't be
Automatically.
that far apart because
Forced
of the couch.
intimacy.
Oh, it was a favorite.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
My fleece is ready. I gotta go pick it up.
Woohoo!
From Kingdom Fleece?
Yeah.
Is that who was processing
Nice.
it? That's what I thought I saw.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. So now we've just got to figure out or remember.
Are we live already?
Well,
Are we
you
doing
know,
something?
it's just this is like outtakes
Okay.
and
I just didn't know. I guess when the
chit-chatting
red button is on, I should be paying attention.
yeah.
When it's the little square.
Oh,
Yeah.
the square. Okay.
And when the little timer's
You can
going
see the
up
timer.
there.
But I can barely see it.
Over there.
Right. I can almost see it. I see that there's something there.
I know.
You don't have to see the time, but
No.
as long as you see that little red, then you know we're like
Right.
we're recording. And can like fancy cut things out if
Yes.
you accidentally say something that you
Not supposed to,
don't
or
want to say.
there have been a few
Are there rules about what things I'm allowed to
swears.
say? All right.
There was
We
think-
try to keep it family friendly.
I think
We
you got the
do.
swearing out of your system when you were doing that.
when I was
Winding the
mohair.
mohair.
But I mean, look at this. Look at these.
Fluff!
One of these things is not like the other.
I mean, what is that?
That one's a little fluffier. That's all. Just a little fluffier.
And that wasn't even the one that was giving me the hard time.
That's
this
why it's
is the
fluffier.
other
Like
one.
a domey cone.
It's
I know, it
That's
looks
why
like
it's fluffier.
One of those pineapple things.
Yeah.
I feel like I should put it on like a stick and use it for decoration.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Stinking mohair.
Yeah. I think there was more swearing in the compact one. Less swearing in the other one.
I know, right?
So it's feeling much more relaxed. The other one is feeling a little...
I don't know what happened.
little tight.
It was sliding up the.
Oh,
pole.
How
interesting.
fun that is together.
I could wear that sweater over the.
Oh, is that your next top?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Cute. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have fabric.
I know, that's the problem. Once you do one, then you're just like,
I know.
wow, 20 grams of yarn and an hour of sewing, and here we go.
I know. I mean,
5 more shirts, just like each, all the
I-
same, only different.
I cut this out and sewed it all last night.
Yeah, it's super fast.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but then I decided, how many tank tops do I really need?
I know.
Well,
Yeah, there's that.
Yes. Now we're coming into fall. I was like, there needs to be like a long sleeve version of this.
But it's a very good layering piece.
yeah, you could probably make a long sleeve. No, because you'd have to.
you could even wear a long sleeve shirt under it, probably.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like too tight in the
Yeah.
armhole open.
True. Very true.
I'm into layering like that, so.
Yes,
Exactly.
I do too.
Exactly. So I'm looking at you, microphone,
Yeah, we all are. Trust me.
little jerk.
Take 2!
Right. That's right.
Yeah, this is the second podcast this week.
I know,
Right.
I was looking at my stuff and I was like, oh wait, I talked about, I didn't talk about it. I did, but I
you
didn't.
gotta do it
Yeah.
Right.
again.
And I had not put things away, so I just picked up the bag and,
I know,
and
me
added
too.
more to it.
Hope sprung eternal at my house that I could somehow find a voice file.
Aww.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. Not there. And
Well.
then lots of research and not wanting to spend $150 on this super fancy microphone.
So did you buy a new one?
I
I'm not
did
even
not.
sure what I knew what happened.
No.
She's got the new little attacher, so it's not going in through the earphone jack. It's
Oh.
going in through the charging
all
jack.
right.
I think it's the earphone jack
It could be.
is the jerk.
I hardly ever use my headphones for anything, so I don't use that jack on anything, because only when
Yeah.
I'm flying, I guess. And actually, my headphones are wireless, so yeah, so I don't use
Yeah.
that. So I'm sure on my stuff it would work, but I don't know. I don't know how.
I don't
I don't
know.
know how to use these devices.
I don't know
so,
why it's been an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because it's technology.
yeah. So I figured
It's got a mind of its own.
one thing that I was reading that said if your iPad was like newer, and this one is a little bit newer, that you had to do this setup. Because some of the newer iPad, like my phone doesn't have a phone jack.
Yeah.
All it has is the lightning jack. And
Yeah.
so I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder if like the operating system or something's updated and now it doesn't like recognize or it's
That's funny.
finicky. I don't know.
Planned obsolescence, always my favorite thing
I
about
know.
technology.
I know, right?
Yep. Such
So we're going to give this a go. We
Yes,
have
we are.
backup sound.
It's going to work this time. It's going to be fine this time. Right?
Totally.
Right?
Totally. Or I'm going to do Mystery Science Theater 3000 on the version that I think is the funniest. So you better hope we have sound.
Right.
I know.
Exactly right.
I know. I was like, sometimes when you have to do like a redo, you feel like you're going to be like not as excited about stuff. So I'm like,
Is that going to keep recording? If my phone goes, am I going to have to like tell it to not go to sleep ever?
it should.
It'll keep going,
It should
even
keep
though it's
recording.
sleeping. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the screen saving,
'Cause, like-
saving its power for the recording
Because
part.
that would be typical too.
Right?
We have a backup of a backup of a backup, and none of them worked.
Right.
7 minutes of voice for the outtakes, and that's
What
it.
we really should have done for ourselves tonight is done some cupcakes.
Oh.
I thought to myself, oh, I should
Yeah.
bring snacks. And then I forgot about it.
I stopped at Bliss Bee and got a burger and like
They do nice.
or a chicken sandwich and was stuffing chicken sandwich in my food hole
Yeah.
before coming in, which is probably why the mohair was being cranky with me.
Because you ate?
Because I ate.
I don't understand.
I don't know how.
I don't understand that
I don't
relationship. But also, I'm not sure what's happening with this color right here. All right.
It smelled the barbecue sauce on me.
Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah. Also, this might be an increase row, which I am also ignoring, so we'll see what's happening after the podcast. I'll pretend to knit during the podcast.
I was going to knit, and then I probably shouldn't risk it because the mohair is having some issues.
Yeah.
Does not bode well. And ripping out mohair does not work, so
Right.
No, it's miserable to do.
you should have seen me trying to wind the mohair.
We should have taken video of that.
You should have.
We wouldn't have been able to post it. There was a lot of swearing.
Just we had to go beep, beep, beep.
That's right. There was a very complete commentary.
Maybe I could record like one of my sheep going bah, and then instead of doing like beep, do the bah.
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I might have accused the Barocco mohair of pretending it was Malabrigo and having a drunken love fest in one of the Malabrigo vats. So,
Yes. Because, Malabrigo doesn't always like to wind itself into a cake. We're not casting aspersions because we love Malabrigo,
their yarn
but
is
it's
amazing.
pretty clear.
that somebody's having a party when they're scanning yarn.
Yeah, something has happened every 10 or 20 or 100 skeins.
Or it's getting like really mushed around in the dye pot, and
Something's happening.
Yeah.
so a little piece gets moved around.
Several pieces lose direction.
Yeah.
It's just confused.
Yes. Right. Yes. There's a little bit of cutting often involved to make that work.
Sometimes.
Yes. Or hand winding. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, good times.
Yeah. What else have we talked about? I guess I
I
feel like
don't
I don't remember what we talked about on Saturday or Sunday or when we did this the first time, but let's see.
Were we talking about we talked about the fair.
Mm-hmm.
And do we talk about the indigo class in the outtake portion?
I don't remember if it's in the outtake portion or not.
I think
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
we can
matter.
talk about it whenever.
yeah.
We're starting over.
That's right.
We do.
But it's part of Kelly's finished objects, so
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Kind of finished.
yeah.
It still needs a good soak.
well,
Rinse.
it's blue.
It is. It is.
Oh, look, my Apple Watch even tells me it's recording.
All right.
Cool. All right. You better be working.
So you, the podcast gods, we're just asking gently to please record.
Demanding.
Right. We have different styles here. I like to firmly but gently ask for things. And just a little bit more direct. Yeah. Yes.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what else we've been doing for the last couple weeks. I don't know either. I'm sure it will come out as we continue our conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, we dealt with some very hot weather, which I was lucky enough to be on a business trip in air conditioning for.
Lucky you.
It's raining today. It was not raining on Sunday when we first started this, so we'll have to dance around to make sure the lights stay on today.
I know.
It'll be a little darker.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, I think it's just been like seasons, for me anyway, seasons of Vermont. Got that done and ready to go out. Other than that, I think it's been Great Northern Yarn Haul wrapped up.
Yep.
That was
For
a
sale
good.
ago.
That was good.
Yeah, we had a
Drew
lot
the
of
prizes
people.
for that.
Yeah.
I drew the prizes. We've not assembled them for shipping quite yet, but we know who the winners are.
One thing at a time.
That's right.
You know,
yes,
We'll get there.
Yeah.
they will go out this week, hopefully sometime.
Kate from Green Mountain Spinnery called today, and they're getting ready for festival season, but they also have the I-91
Shop hop.
shop hop, and she said that that's been going really, really well for
Yeah,
them.
we did. I think we had so many. We had 28 different stores
Yeah, a
and
lot of
farms and
stores.
mills or whatever
Yeah.
participating in the yarn haul, which is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so. I mean, I thought we did well last year. We lost some last year during COVID, but we still had 20, but 28 is, and there's like 3 more people that reached out to me during the middle of the yarn haul, and they're like, I really want to do this next year. Some of whom are places that I've reached out to before.
Yeah.
So we must be getting some traction, which is great.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and I think everyone so far, all the stores have said that they had a good turnout, and
Yeah.
and especially some of the new stores, which is great because
Yeah.
you know
Awesome.
they're never quite sure what to expect.
Right.
But I think, and we had
We
four,
saw
we had
saw
4.5
more traffic.
pages of
Yeah.
Yeah, we
signatures,
had-
so we
yeah.
had quite a few people. So, which is great, and it definitely saw some sales, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially considering last summer.
yes, yes, it was definitely a little bit of a boost to the bottom line.
The
this
Vermont
July.
only yarn haul
Yeah.
version, or
Right,
people who had
right.
to quarantine or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Right, last year, yeah, that's right, yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely better this year, and people were itching
Oh yeah.
to get out there and do something fun.
Yeah.
So
And there's
Yeah.
a lot of people who are traveling regionally. You know,
Yeah.
they're not comfortable flying or
right,
doing a lot
Yeah.
of big travel, but they're
Yeah.
traveling around.
Yeah.
England, so.
Vermont is safe haven for many people. Although I don't know.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, yep. So anyway, all
School
good.
starts next week.
Oh my
Oh
god,
boy.
right. The fall season is almost upon us.
Yep.
And after our record temperatures last week, this week does feel a little bit like fall. This
Yeah.
morning was, you
did.
know, this
Doesn't
morning was a little bit
outside
warmer.
right now.
No, it's really sticky.
I hadn't
right
been
now.
out since.
Oh
it,
yeah. When I went
I
out,
was like, oh.
I know. This morning when I walked, I
Yeah.
had my sweat like a fleece on. It was chilly when I walked,
Yeah.
and by the time I got back, I was warm. And on the way to work, it was brisk. And I went out. I didn't go out during the day either. And when I left the office at 5, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Sticky.
Steamy again.
Yeah.
yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Abigail had kinder camp this morning. This is this new thing they do where they
Yeah.
bring the kindergartners in for like a day
Oh, I
or
forgot
two.
she was starting kindergarten. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So I took her this morning, and I had no idea it was like cold outside. So we left the house, and then it started pouring down rain too. So I was winning, mom, second child. She was wearing like a t-shirt and shorts, and I'm wearing like short sleeve shirt and jeans and flip flops.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, huh. But you could feel it was really sticky. So
Yeah.
we were like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then by the time I went and picked her up like late morning, I had grabbed her a sweatshirt because I was like, oh, maybe she's cold. And then I walked outside. I was like,
You're like,
oh,
oh,
no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's comfortable because she has shorts and a t-shirt on.
I meant to do that.
That's
Totally
right.
planned
Completely
it.
intentional. Yeah.
Yeah. All the other kids there with their like raincoats and their rain boots, and here comes my kid in her shorts and t-shirt. Yes.
That's a true, strong Vermont little kid, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
She is.
I think it was cold enough that the heat actually came on the other night, though. Not last night, but the night before. It
Oh,
was
my
like-
heat is turned so
Yeah, ours
way
is
down low.
Mine is down to 60, which is, I don't know, feels like low enough that it's not going to come on in the summertime. But it was like in the 50s, so it got
Yeah.
chilly.
Oh yeah,
enough
it's
to-
been. We had one
yeah.
morning when I got up and it was like 48
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
my house. So.
Strange summer.
It's great. I love it.
I do too. It's just, it's after that hot weather, it's just been like the up and
I
down
know.
of
Yeah.
the
Roller
temperature, like some
coasters.
sort of like gentle curve
Yeah,
would be my preference. But
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I know. I mean, Sunday was gorgeous.
that was beautiful.
Take more Sundays.
Yeah.
I was locked inside this building all day
Yeah,
Sunday,
I
so we did have family dinner on Sunday evening, which was nice. So it was still nice then. So yeah,
Nice.
good to catch up with the parents, see what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I know.
that is what it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since. I don't think.
They haven't been here I haven't seen them for 2 years.
I know.
So-
Yeah,
Such a bummer.
yeah, and I have no excuse. Mine live here, so I should see them more frequently than I do. But anyway, so
Gosh.
yeah,
Well, should we get the actual podcast
Yeah.
going?
we should.
We should,
Let's
because my
do
belly's
this.
going to start talking
I
before
know.
the end if I don't.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of late. I don't think we've ever done, well, except for Rhinebeck. But then, of course,
Rhinebeck.
we had food.
We were eating and
beverages.
Right.
Because the other option to cupcakes would have been a beverage.
Right. But we
It's just-
we all have to
We
drive.
all have to
so
drive home, so that's
not a good
slightly
idea.
problematic. But it would have been so much fun.
Would have
It would have been.
Hopefully you're having a beverage as you watch this.
I might have a beverage when I edit this, just so you know.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Maybe we can get together one of the Rhinebeck nights
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
do a fun.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would be fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, still going. Okay.
So far, so good.
Sound backup's still recording.
We'll probably have 12 versions of this.
Probably.
Of this one. Because you know if that's working, then the other thing will be working.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, you know?
Yeah.
We'll just record on the phone from now on, and that way we'll know that we'll always be just fine. We'll have 2 for everything. Yeah,
Exactly.
You need your glasses.
that's right.
Okay.
Right.